Okay, welcome to the today's lecture on directional couplers. Okay, we will see in this lecture the definition of directional coupler and the parameters affecting it. Okay, there are four parameters. We'll see all those parameters and we'll see first the directional coupler. What is directional coupler? Directional coupler is a device which couples some of the power to the coupling port. So this is the configuration you can see in the figure. So this is port 1, this is port 2, port 3, port 4. Okay, there are four ports. So it is basically a 4-port waveguide junction. This is 4 ports and these are 2 waveguides. Okay, so 4-port waveguide junction. Now, what is the functioning of it and what is the definition of directional coupling? Okay, so there are many applications of this directional coupler. Why? Because uh, microwave power is a huge power. There are uh, high power in the microwave because as the frequency increases, power also increases. So if we want to measure power of any microwave power or coming from any waveguide, so it is almost impossible. Okay, it is almost impossible. So uh, uh, directional coupler is one way to measure the power. Let us suppose 1 kilowatt power is coming here and we have a device that can measure up to 10 watt of power. So how can we measure 1 kilowatt of power? So we will make a device which couples a certain amount of power. Let us suppose 1% of power will be coupled. Okay, 100 watt of power is given here. So only 1 watt power will come here. So by using this concept, okay. So if 1,000 watt power is given to port 1, only 10 watt power will come to this port, and now we can measure this power. Okay, so this is the main application of the directional coupler. Okay, so and these are um, two ports, port 2 and port 3. So if 1,000 watt power is given from port 1 and 10 watt power is obtained at port 4, then rest of the power will go to the port 2 because there will be no any power at port 3 because this back power should be 0 in directional coupler. Ideally it should be 0. So if this is 0, okay, so 990 watt will go to the port 2. Okay, so this is the application of directional coupler. You must have uh, seen this type of couplers in your microwave labs during your BTech. Okay, if you have performed your lab. Okay, so and this is a directional coupler. So there are many types of directional coupler. Okay, 3 dB directional coupler, 10 dB directional coupler, and 20 dB directional coupler, 30 dB directional coupler. So I will explain each and everything of this 3 dB, 10 dB, 20 dB when we will discuss its parameter. Okay, coupling parameter. Okay, so this is. So what should be the power at port 3? The power at port 3 ideally should be equal to 0. And certain amount of power should be coupled at port 4 and rest of the power will go to the port 2. So if power is given from port 1, power will go to port 2 and 4 but not at port 3. Okay, this is the definition of directional coupler. Okay, so this port 3 is also known as PB, back power. Okay, this port 4 is also known as forward coupled power. So this P4 is also denoted by PF, and P2 is also known as PR because it is the received power, forward received power. Okay, so now we'll see one by one the parameters of the directional coupler. So there are four parameters which describes the directional couplers. The performance of the directional couplers are coupling, directivity, isolation, and insertion. So what is coupling? Coupling factor. So coupling factor is the ratio of power given to port 1 to the power received at port 4. So it is the ratio of input power to the coupled power. Okay, so what is the purpose of defining this coupling factor? It is used to measure how much of the incident power is being sampled. Okay, it is denoted by C and expressed in dB. Okay, so there will be many types of coupler: 3 dB coupler, 10 dB coupler, 20 dB coupler. So what is 3 dB coupler? So let us suppose there is directional coupler. Okay, so this is port 1. Okay, this is port 2, this is port 3, and this is port 4. So if power will be given from here, some of the power will come to port 4, and this ratio, input power to the port 1 and coupled power at port 4, this ratio is known as the coupling factor. Now let us suppose 100 watt is given to port 1 and 50% of the power is coupled at port 4. Then this P1 upon P4, 100 upon 50 will be 2. So log 2 is given by 0.303, 301. Okay, and multiplied by 10, it will give 3.01 dB. 3.01 dB is popularly known as 3 dB. 3 dB means 50% of the power will be coupled to the port 4. Okay, so what is 10 dB coupler? 10 dB coupler is when 100 dB 100 watt power is given to port 1 and only 10% of the power, means 10 watt, is coupled at port 4, and rest 90 dB of the power is coupled at port 2. Okay, then this is known as 10 dB coupler. How? 10 dB. So let us P1 is 100 and P4 is 10. So 100 upon 10, it will be 10. So log 10 means 1. Okay, and multiplied by 10 is 10 dB. Okay, so again, what is the 20 dB coupler? 20 dB coupler means only 1% of the power is coupled to port 4. If 100 watt is given to port 1, only 1 watt, means only 1% of the power will be coupled at port 1. So what will be the ratio? This 100 upon 1. So this is 100. So log 100 means 2. Log 100 means 2 and multiplied by 10. This is 20 dB. So coupling factor is a very important parameter to define the directional coupler, because it is used to measure how much of the incident power is being sampled. Okay, so 20 dB coupler, 30 dB coupler, like that. And the next one is the directivity. What is directivity? So let us suppose this is your directional coupler. Okay, This is port 1, 2, okay, 3 and 4. In reality, in there is some coupling power and there is a finite back power. Okay, so the ratio, but this P3 or PB should be very small. Ideally it should be equal to 0, but in real practice when we will design directivity, very small fraction of the power will also go to the port P. So directivity is a very important term to describe how much of the power is coupled, okay, and how much of the power is gone to this port. So ratio of this P4 upon P3 is known as directivity. P4 means forward power, and this one, and P3 means back power, PB. Okay, so this is the directivity. The directivity will measure the ability of the directional coupler to isolate forward and backward wave, or to isolate coupled or uncoupled ports. And ideally PV should be equal to 0. Ideally PV should be equal to 0 means P3 should be equal to 0. Ideally there should be no any power should go at port 3. Okay, so if PV is 0, what will be the value of directivity? This denominator is 0, it will go to infinity, and log of infinity is again infinity, so multiplied by something, so it will give infinity. Directive will be in. So ideally directivity should be infinity, but the 30 dB 40 dB is good. Okay, in practice it is not in infinite, but it should be 30 dB 40 dB. Okay, so now isolation. So which port should be isolated? Port 3. We do not want any power at port 3, because if I will give the power at port 1, then some of the power will be coupled at port 4, okay, and rest of the power will go to the port 2. But there should be no any power at port 3. Okay, but I told you in practice when we design directional coupler, there is a finite power. Some power is going to port 3. So uh, we define this isolation parameter to show that how less power is going to port 3. So it is the ratio of this P1 upon P3, and P1 is also Pi, input port or input power, and PB is also P3. Okay, because this is back power, so P3 will also be written as PB, and this P1 will also be written as Pi. Okay, so 10 log P1 upon P3, input power to the isolated power or back power. Okay, so ideally it this P3 or PB should be equal to 0, and if this is 0, so again this should be equal to 0. So then ideally this I should also be equal to 0. Okay, now there is an important relationship between I, C, and D. So let us see what will be the relationship. So I is defined as 10 log P1 upon P3. This is the isolation, and we may write this P1 upon P3 like this. Okay, because if this P4 and P4 will get cancelled, and it may be written as P1 upon P3. Okay, so let us suppose we have written this one. And why we have taken P4? Why we do not have taken P2? Because P1 upon P4 is coupling, definition of the coupling, and P4 upon P3 is the definition of the directivity. Okay, so this is in multiplication and this is the logarithmic. By the logarithmic property, it will be summation 10 log p1 upon p4 plus 10 log p4 upon p4. Okay, so this is nothing but t. This is nothing but means isolation in dB will be equal to the summation of this coupling in dB plus this directivity in dB. So any of the two in I, C and D will be given, then third quantity will automatically will be calculated. Okay, so thank you for the watching, and one more factor is there, and that is insertion loss. Insertion loss is very much popular if it is the ratio of this 1 and 2. It is the ratio of 1 and 2 directly. Okay, so this is 3 and this is 4. Because in directional coupler, if 1% power is going to this port 4, so 99% power is going to port 2. So this is the reason. Let us suppose 1% is lost somewhere. So this is the reason. That is why throughput is this one. Most of the power is coming to this one, and some of the power 1%, 2%, or 5% power is coupled to this port. Okay, so this is the reason we define this insertion loss. So in dB it is given by 10 log p1 upon p2. Again, it may also be written as in terms of S parameter. Okay, so what is S 21? This S21 is P2 upon P1. S21 is nothing but P2 upon P1. Means, and no, S21 whole square is P2 upon P1, because P2 of S21 is V2 upon V1. Okay, and if we will square this V2 upon V1, okay, then we will get P2 upon P. Okay, so this P2 P1 upon P2 will be replaced by this V2 upon V1 ka whole square. Okay, and here it is P1 upon P2, but S21 is defined as P2 upon P1. So it will be opposing P1 upon P2. So it will be negative. Okay, so and the square term will come out and it will be written as minus 20 log S12 in D. The insertion loss is responsible for the input power delivered to the through port minimized by the power delivered to the coupled and the isolated port. Okay, so these are the 4 parameters which are generally asked in the examinations also. So, and I think you must have understood the definition of directional coupler and the 4 parameters to define the directional coupler. In the next lecture, we will see the 2-hole directional coupler. Do not miss this lecture. Okay, and if you have not subscribed this channel, then please like and subscribe the channel to get the latest videos. Okay, thank you for the watching. Okay, so we'll meet in the next lecture.